Hey guys, it's like absolutely pouring out here right now. It's a few minutes before sunrise, but look at this. It's so dark and overcast that you can barely see it, but it is pouring. Okay, you guessed it, I'm going back to bed, doing something later, but wow, holy crap. And it's really cold. Okay guys, I'll see you guys later, bye. Okay, wow, you guys, I just watched the third episode of the Joseph Campbell and the Power of Myth, this docu-series I've been telling you guys about that I've been watching, and I'm shaking, like, yeah, it's indescribable. This episode made me very emotional. This episode was all about ritual, the ritual of the hunt, the ritual of humans, why ritual is so important in mythology and to our experience as humans. Ritual does not happen anymore in our current culture, especially Western culture, I should say. And it explains so much to me of why I craved bringing ritual back into my life, which I have done. I started doing that, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago now, and have continued to bring more and more into my life. Even doing these sunrise musings, doing my devotion for the day is an act of ritual. And in those rituals, they really honored, especially with the hunt. So for example, the hunt, they really honored the life force of the animal. And it wasn't just an honoring, it was, and what he talks about is that they actually felt sadness and despair, pain over having to kill another being for their life force. And this is what came to me, I don't know, a month ago now, when I was making vegetables. I was making some spinach and I felt its life force, and I felt really overwhelmed with sadness that I was taking its life. And yes, it's a vegetable, but it's alive, just like an animal is alive. And I thanked it for its energy, for giving me its nourishment and its life force and its strength and its courage to nourish my body so I can go through the day and live my life to my fullest potential. And I got so sad, and this is why I didn't want to think about this or feel this, right? It's like, oh my God, it was a deep grief for what I was about to consume. And I wanted to shut it off. And then I heard my guide say, maybe you're supposed to be sad. Maybe this is what you're supposed to feel around this. The full range of human emotions. Why am I denying my sadness? I wouldn't deny my joy around eating it, around being nourished around it. Why am I going to deny my sadness around it? And I was like, oh God, yeah, that's a really good point. And he literally just talked about that in this episode. And everything he talked about in this episode has been so instinctual for me that I've followed, and confirming, like I am following a mythological path right now, which makes me quite shaky and emotional. And I can't say why, it's just happening. Wow, okay, I'm getting very vulnerable. He also talked about shamans and how shamans come about, and that makes me really emotional too, because I think so many of our shamans in this culture have been institutionalized. I 100% believe that many of the people that are in institutions or diagnosed with psychological disorders are actually trying to initiate into something higher, of a higher consciousness, to help us, to help humanity. I think it's a really beautiful divine calling that's of a very high vibration. Not that it makes them better than, this is not what I mean. I mean this on a spiritual level. It's a different vibration. It's a very high vibration to help us. And we've turned that into illness, and we don't have anyone to guide them. So of course they go crazy. Whereas in other cultures, they were guided and they were helped. They were shown the way how to integrate this into their beings. Yeah. And I know there are some places that are helping with this. There are people that are helping with this. This is, we are awakening to this being something that needs to be addressed. And there are many people out there trying to help with these initiations, and I honor those people. I myself am not a shaman, but I am here to help people with their awakenings in any way, any type of deep spiritual awakening. That is my path. I'm here with open arms. And that makes me really emotional too, because I've known that for a really long time. This just confirmed so much of what my life and my path has been for so long. You know, it's not conventional, and it seems crazy and out there because of the structure of the society I currently live in. So much. There's so much to this, but yeah. I highly recommend this series. Something really mystical and magical and beautiful happens when I watch it, and I 100% know that we are all capable of these things inside of us. We as humans were designed to be in connection to the divine, to be able to see these things and feel these things. This is not something that's just by a chosen few. Maybe certain things like shamanism and such, but we all have our roles in this spiritual realm. We all have our roles in this higher consciousness way. We all have these roles in our souls and our soul's longings. This is a part of all of us. This is why I started to do these devotional videos to begin with, just to normalize this, to show that this is something we are all capable of. It's not weird, it's not strange, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and it's immense, and it's part of what it is to be human. And if we remember this, we will change this world. We will change humanity. We have to remember that we're human. We have to remember that we're human. We have to remember what the human myth is. We have to come back to that if we want to heal anything. And that starts with you. That starts with remembering your own myth. That starts with remembering your own humanity. And it starts with remembering your own soul. That is how we change the world. That is how you change the world. That's how I change the world. That's the other thing he said that I really wanted to talk about, which was that when you make something a thou versus an it. And we, in our culture, have made animals, nature, trees, rocks, its rather than thous. We've made people in other countries that we deem our enemies its rather than thous. And how you actually literally, and this is absolutely true, what he said, that you change your psychology when you make anything a thou versus an it. Everything a thou. What you are eating on your plate is a thou. Your pet is a thou. Your tree in your backyard is a thou. The person on the other side of the world that you think is your enemy is a thou. To see that. To see their wholeness. To see their life force. I am just blown away right now. This is it, folks. This is it. This is it. Okay. Blessed be.